Let's go over picking the right TravlFi device for you. Me personally, I've been traveling on the road for over 3 years, full-time working remotely, and I've put all these through the test. I've used all 3 devices. I'm gonna give you my personal experience and what worked best for me and try to help you pick the right one. Okay, the devices are gonna be broken into 2 groups. We have hotspots and routers. The hotspot is gonna be great for a solo traveler or maybe a family on the weekend. I personally loved it because I could throw it in my backpack when I left my rig at the airport, catch a flight, have internet wherever I went. I use it all the time. It's actually probably my most used device. Next, we have the XTR. This device is gonna have more powerful antennas, faster speeds than the hotspots. And then we have the 5G router, which is gonna give you those ultra fast speeds. The reason why I switched to the XTR was because I ended up getting too many devices. I started hooking up security cameras, external battery stations, and everything used Wi-Fi. So I had to eventually upgrade to the XTR, which connects to 32 devices. And if you want to go all out, the 5G is going to connect to 128 devices. So this device is going to be great for especially seasonal and full-time travelers. It's something you can hook up, put up inside a cabinet, forget about it, and just have internet throughout your rig. The XTR is really good for, let's say, online gamers. They love those fast ping times. Also, remote workers love the 5G just because you can get those fast upload and download speeds. For me, that's why I eventually got the 5G, because I was uploading big YouTube files. So these can handle it perfectly fine. Like I said, I used them for a long time. But just to speed up my workflow, I switched to the 5G to get those faster times. One of the things people say is, why would I want a 4G router when I can get the 5G? So for me personally, I like to travel and go to these beautiful locations, and most of the time, there's not 5G available. So 5G is mainly gonna work when you're near bigger cities or smaller towns that have 5G towers. But for me, most of the time, I was on the 4G network. It works totally fine. Pretty much everywhere I traveled, I was on 4G. The hotspot and the XTR are gonna have 4G speeds, and the 5G router is gonna have 4G and 5G both built in. So as you're traveling, let's say you go out of a 5G area, it's gonna fail back over to 4G, so you're still gonna have connection, you're just gonna go back to 4G speeds. So now the 4G devices are definitely gonna be more affordable, but if you want the latest and greatest, 5G is definitely your best option to go with. Okay, to summarize, the hotspot's gonna be great if you're just a solo traveler or maybe a weekend warrior and just go out a few times a month. The XTR is definitely gonna be a better bet for like a seasonal or full-time traveler. It's gonna connect to more devices. And if you want the best of the best, the 5G is gonna connect to a lot more devices, give you those faster speeds, especially if you're a remote worker, online gamer, if you're doing YouTube, things like that. Another thing people like to do with the routers, especially if they're seasonal travelers, once they're done traveling for the season, they take the routers, bring them into their homes so they can use the routers as home internet. As always, if you need any help, feel free to reach out to our support team. They do this all day long and help customers out. And that being said, safe travels and hope to see you on the road.